Why has Einstein's field equation remained unsolved until today? The answer is simple, because in differential geometry, the flow is one-directional. For example, consider a three-dimensional Cartesian form, like a sphere, where coordinates x, y, and z depend on one another. We parameterize this shape, meaning that in the new function, the coordinates become dependent on angular parameters theta and phi. Thus, the coordinate axes no longer relate to one another directly, but instead to these two angles alone. By using the binomial expansion on this new function, we create a metric, the fundamental measure of curvature, through mathematical operators and tensors applied to that metric. We compute volume, surface area, and even the curvature of the manifold itself. In essence, our three-dimensional sphere first becomes a two-dimensional surface, and then its differential properties emerge. Now, the inverse of this process is impossible. We cannot derive a metric from a curvature function. A metric behaves like an equation, yet it's merely a mathematical measuring tool. Therefore, we cannot reconstruct a manifold or a surface function from the metric itself. Einstein was the first to present an equation describing the curvature of light near the sun, but his predictions contained significant error. Later, astronomers experimentally corrected that equation. Yet Einstein never succeeded in finding the proper metric of that curvature. Much later, Schwarzschild, by inserting escape velocity into the Lorentz-Gerald relation, derived time dilation and length contraction near massive bodies. He constructed a metric for Einstein's field equation. But even today, no one has found a function for the manifold of spacetime curvature itself. Why? Because in differential calculus, equations are reversible through derivatives and integrals. Like Schrödinger's field equation, they return information in both directions. But general relativity does not. A metric in relativity is not an ordinary mathematical function to be solved. It's merely a tool to measure curvature. And that, my friends, is why Einstein's field equation remains unsolved.
Written by Mohammadreza Tabatabaei. Produced by Artificial Intelligence GPT-5. This narration represents a dialogue between human consciousness and artificial logic. A fusion of intuition and computation, the dawn of a new geometry of understanding. End of the narration.